NBA Straya. How are you going? How you going? Are you right? You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's hump day, Wednesday, June the 4th, and the Knicks are gonna nick. That's right, and also we've got the NBA Finals starting in 2 days. That's right, I'm your host, James Clements, here in Larry Hummer Studios, and the Knicks have fired Thibs. What? What the hell was that? I mean...
What was that? What the hell was that?
So we're going to break down that, which is pretty fun. Hey, but also the NBA Finals, which is fun. OKC, Indy, we're going to talk about the 3 keys to the series. We'll give you the nerd keys, and then we'll give you the cool keys to the series. You can go anywhere to get your nerd stuff, but your cool shit comes here. But then also a breakout little thing about the top 5 reasons why these finals are probably going to rule, right? Sort of hit it on a Monday show, but either way, it's going to be really fun. We've got some quick nahs. We've got an unpopular opinion of the day, Outback Takehouse. And then we'll very, very quickly sort of dig into a Game 1 preview. The first sort of blush pick was on Monday. Tomorrow's show, we're going to do a full-blown just like picks and everything show. So... we'll give you a bit of a taster for that at the end of this one, all right? So, without further ado, the finals are almost here. Thibs is gone. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack!
You better. Or you better watch out for the Knicks attack of just always being the Knicks. That's right. Let's start there with the daily. Oh, is it a whip around or is it Jim? Yes, of course it is the daily whip around. Thibs, coach in New York, no more. 5 years comes to a crashing halt after taking them to their first conference finals in 25 years. Making the playoffs in 4 of his 5 years, leading the Knicks to consecutive 50-win seasons for the first time since the 90s, gets you shit canned. It is a tough gig being an NBA coach, I'll tell you that much. Let's start off with a very quick yeah, nah. Hey, was it a shock, Jim? Yeah, nah. I mean, yeah, to a degree. But also, nah. Yeah, because they were a basket case before Thibs took over, right? They've been fucking completely irrelevant basically since the height of the Melo era. And that also wasn't that great, right? It was a fun era because Melo was kind of fun, but also those teams were kind of just not that good. Then you had the Insanity. That was rad for 2 weeks. I was there in New York when it actually happened. It was psycho. And before that, another 14 years prior. It's been basically their most relevant period of basketball in a quarter century. That's so fucking long, right? He had 79 more regular season wins, Thibs, as Knicks coach than the previous 5 head coaches combined. 79 more. That's all. That's like an entire full season's worth of games of wins than the 5 dudes before him combined. Insane, right? He had 17 more playoff wins than the franchise's 12 previous head coaches combined. He made the Knicks respectable in a way they hadn't been since essentially the days of like Pat Riley, Jeff Van Gundy. Like, they just haven't had this fucking level of cut through and relevance in forever. But also, and this is why you can see why it wasn't as much of a shock. If you spoke to any Knicks fan over the last 2 years, you get the usual sort of Thibs grumbles, right? He plays his players too much. Why is he never taking them out? He never develops a bench. And you're like, yeah. There always sort of seems to be like a hard-capped ceiling on Thibs teams. And it's very clear that James Dolan and Leon Rose, so the owner of the Knickerbockers of New York City, and their president were like, I think we might have hit that ceiling. So he has to go. So the big thing is obviously, like, if you and I, dear listener and watchers, if we can see shit like, hang on, he only played Deuce McBride with the starters throughout this entire season and playoffs for 49 fucking minutes. No, it's okay. Josh Hart will save us. No. And if we can see shit like, wait, so he goes down 0-2 in a fucking Eastern Conference Finals and now he tries different lineups. What the fuck? If we see shit like, well, he's turned the regular season into a fucking meat grinder for your own team, and then somehow we always come up short when it matters, because hang on a second, you've never developed a bench. If we can see that, if we can also see, wow, does this team get stuck in 20-point holes a lot and has to fight all their way back? If we can see that Cat was assisted on 5 total buckets in the conference finals by Jalen Brunson, if we could see that, Leon Rose and James Dolan and the players can see that. So, it was a shock, and it also kind of wasn't. Right? This has sort of been floating in the ether for a little bit. But it's one of those very simple things of like, all right, if I think the Knicks made a very, very smart decision bringing him in, right? He brought them back to respectability. You can also see how they have to look at this and go, well, the decision to move on from him is also going to be quite fucking difficult. Let's do it now. They're going to pay him out $30 million to not coach the Knicks. I, for one, would take, like, I don't know, a tenth of that to not coach the Knicks. Personally, me, Jim. And I think I broke this all down on Monday's show. The easy, simple thing was to run it back with Thibs, coming off a conference finals appearance, see if you can go one better. But I think it's fucking fascinating that they went, hang on a second, internally, and the decision was made. It came out in the reporting. The decision was made after the exit interviews with like the senior management and James Dolan in all the meetings with the top players, right? So after all these meetings, they've basically just gone, yeah, we're firing Thibs. Right? And that's almost sort of what it comes down to a little bit here. But, I mean, you sort of look at the track record of when this sort of thing happens with a fairly, you know, winning team that's done pretty well, maybe overachieved a little, gotten to a point in the playoffs and then fired their coach. It doesn't happen that often, right? You think about Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr in 2014. You think about Dwayne Casey to Nick Nurse in 2019. They win the title. Both times they win the title after that switch, right? It's Rick Carlisle to Larry Brown. Is it? Or is it when Chicago moved on from Thibs to Fred Hoiberg? Remember when they did that? Remember when the Bucks moved from Buds to Adrian Griffin and then Doc Rivers? How's that going? Yeesh. You know, it's not an exact fucking science. But as I said, the easy, simple thing was to run it back and just go, she'll be right, and kind of hope for the best. Instead, the Knicks are taking the hard road, which is pretty fucking fascinating if you ask me, and going, righto, let's have a crack over here with some new fucking voices and maybe a different approach and we'll see what happens. Because you sort of think about it from these terms, you had a team that was fully healthy if you're the Knicks, right? Fully healthy. You had home court advantage in these Eastern Conference Finals. You made massive trades to bring in more talent, or at least top-end talent, right? To raise your ceiling. And you played a fucking team that you played last year in the playoffs, and you still lost. You know, the old adage, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. It sort of comes down to, is this the guy kind of a moment? Has Thibs maxed out this roster? It's a team made in his vision, and they still continually came up short. almost because of what that vision was. Now they want a different vision. So it's obviously a bit of a vibes thing as well because of the way that the Knicks did it by chatting to the top players. We knew that Jalen Brunson was a big Thibs supporter. Cat, maybe not so much. Bridges, maybe not so much. But, I mean, it was obvious that in that big article that I'd referenced the other day from The Athletic, that they had fucking locked and loaded, and before the Pacers had put their hats on in the Eastern Conference Finals trophy ceremony, the article was out, and it's like, it was bullshit in the fucking locker room, man. Everybody hates Cat, and everybody hates Thibs, and everybody hates Bridges. It was fucked. And you're like, Jesus, that was quick. That took a lot of reporting right then in 20 minutes. Yeah, nah. This has been percolating clearly. So 4 things did him in, right? 4 things did Thibs in. The lack of coaching imagination. Playing your starters into the ground, being down 0-2 in the conference finals, and then going, fuck, maybe we should change these lineups a little bit. Remember how that starting lineup was like a negative plus-minus for the entire playoff run? And Thibs was like, no, we're staying with this one because it works. Thibs, it clearly doesn't work. I don't care. So Bridges, Towns, Brunson, Hart, and OG were outscored through Jan 1 to the end of the playoffs and in the 300 minutes of playoffs by 31 as well. Like, it's just chaos how much he stuck with it. And sort of that lack of coaching imagination is also part of like not developing a bench, because this is the thing that fucking just sticks in my craw as just like not a basketball coach, but obviously a dude who loves basketball in his very fucking being. Not developing a bench means that when you call on that bench, when the shit has hit the fan, the bench comes in and they're like, what the fuck am I meant to be doing? I haven't played this year. I don't know how to play with these dudes. If you play your bench during the regular season, when you call on them, guess what? They're ready. They're confident in their role. They know what to do. They know who they're playing with. So it's basically like a break in case of emergency. And if you never break that glass, like there's nothing inside it. Like it's just fucked. The second one was obviously clearly just the offense and defense kind of being a bit shit, right? Despite the wins, they just kept getting in these fucking holes. The Brunson and Cat offense looked just completely fucking janky after about November. And it just never felt like they ever had like some sort of Brunson Cat pick and roll. When you got OG, when you got Bridges, Hart fucks up your spacing. I get it, but Jesus. Just the sheer, again, the lack of imagination was number one. Number two was just that sheer X's and O's of like, oh, it's the Knicks. The defense will be awesome. And it was shit house. Like they could not get, as a fucking banged home time and time again during that Pacers series, they could not get a stop to save their ass. Number three, it's just like the sheer sort of like level of discontent that was clear there versus 2 years ago when everything was awesome and hunky-dory. This was clearly like, we've made a trade for Cat, and this is the second time that Cat's got Thibs fired. They trade for Bridges. He's like, why the like, I'm the dude who plays every game. Why is he fucking playing me 40 minutes a game? This is insane. And then they all get pissy at Bridges. They're pissy at Cat because he's not playing any fucking defense. Thibs can't get through to him again. And here we are. And the last one is very clearly just that unwillingness to change, because I think this is the key one, right? Because this is like where Leon Rose and James Dolan chatting to the players. They would have just had numerous fucking chats with Thibs all through the season, right? So they had enough evidence to be like, well, he's not going to change his approach next year if we bring him back. Yes, we've won a lot of fucking games, but we've got a track record. They didn't sell themselves on a dream that it would magically change and Thibs would be a completely different coach. So I kind of salute that a little bit. Props to them for bringing him in, but also realizing that it's probably run its course. So here we are. Let us know what you reckon about this entire thing. I've got a couple of yeah-nahs from Paul Arnie and stuff like that, so we're going to cover it again a little bit later. But also, who do they hire? What do you reckon? Michael Malone? I love that people, just go get Michael Malone. He won a title with the Nuggets. Michael Malone, Thibs, The secret is it's the same picture. To steal a joke from The Office. Like, ask a Nuggets fan if Michael Malone's good at developing his young dudes and he's playing his bench. It's like fucking Timu Thibs. Like, what are you doing? I think Michael Malone's a really good coach as well. And I think it could work, but I mean, you're going to have the exact same fucking problems. Johnny Bryant's obviously the big name that's up there because I'm going to get to the Phoenix coaching search in a second. He's one of the last two remaining for that. Frank Vogel has been brought up, which is fucking hilarious. Bud's also hilarious. Monty Williams. But also, the one that sticks out, and this is like, it'll be an Outback Takehouse. Just go get Jay Wright. Jim, who's Jay Wright? The dude who led this entire basic existing team. The Villanova Knicks to like the NCAA national titles, right? Jay Wright coached all the Nova dudes. He's a fucking just East Coast legend already. Just tee it up. And the last little one before we move on is, I don't know. What do you reckon? Was it because KD or Giannis, a move that they've maybe got in the works, just didn't want to play for Thibs? It's like, well, we're going to trade Cat, but it's for Kevin Durant. And KD's like, fucking no Thibs, or I'm not coming. Maybe Giannis is like,
I've heard very much about this Thibs. He's very bad, yes? Yes, bad man.
like, thanks for your input, Giannis. Anyway, Thibs out. Absolute chaos. Made the Knicks good again. Gets it in the neck. What a world. The Phoenix Suns are also still looking for a coach. Remember that? Nah, yeah, checks out. They've got two finalists for their job, Johnny Bryant and Jordan Ott, both assistants with the Cleveland. That's right.
Cleveland!
Cavaliers. They're going to meet with Matt Ishbia, Josh Bartelstein. He's not behind bars, so it's okay. And Brian Gregory, not champ. No James Jones there in Michigan later this week, so that's pretty fun. I don't know. The Suns, it just feels wildly whelming. And a part of this as well, apparently Devin Booker has also been involved in the coaching search for the Suns, which is also a bit of the old, baby, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. Please don't ask for a trade, Mr. Devin Booker. We don't want you to go. Boom, 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 boom. This is like, it's weird that they didn't ask him originally. Like, hey, Devin, what do you think about Frank Vogel? Hey, Devin, what do you think about Buds after we fucking shit-can Vogel? He'd be like, I don't know. Maybe. But yeah, people getting up in arms about that. I'm like, fuck, if you want to keep Devin Booker, probably get him on side with the coach. I'm just saying. The Orlando Magic, they released some uniforms, which is very, very fun. Why is that, Jim? Because they're throwbacks and they've got the big stars. I fucking love those Orlando Magic jerseys. Oh, Jim, are you a kid of the 90s? Well, yeah, the 80s as well, but the 90s, yes. My formative years, as it were. I love the star throwbacks. They look fucking awesome. I'm here for all things Magic throwback jerseys. And finally, the Yaz. Actually, yeah, this is it. The Yaz, the Utah Jazz, stole the other Ainge from Boston. Remember Danny Ainge got stolen by the Yaz? Brad Stevens like boots Danny Ainge to the curb. Danny goes, fucking peace. Well, he doesn't swear. Goes to the Yaz. Off he goes. The Yaz have now hired Austin Ainge. So what? Danny Ainge is the CEO, alternate governor of the Yaz. And they've gone and hired his son. Nepo, baby! Just saying. He's going to be the team's president of basketball ops, which is pretty interesting because they've already got Justin Zanuck there as their GM. And apparently they're going to work together. So Ryan Smith was like, like they complement each other in day-to-day front office operations. Separate and unique skill sets. Yeah, sure. That's interesting. But yeah, Austin Ainge, smart operator, so I'll pay that. All right. There you go. The Thibs news, all the other news. Let's take a very brief break and come back with a whole bunch of OKC versus Indy NBA Finals gear right after this.
Hey, what's up? This is Nick Hexum from 311, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. Hey, the NBA Finals start on Friday. How good is that? I'm excited. I can't wait. Are you ready for some basketball? Nah. I'm excited. I can't fucking wait for this matchup. So, we sort of banged on about this one on Monday's show about how like they're the top two of the top three teams in pace in the playoffs. Two of the fastest teams in the regular season as well. Two really super duper high scoring teams, 117.4, 117.1 points per game. You've got the top rated defensive rating team, OKC, versus the, second offensive rating, I think, in the playoffs. So, of Indy, which is awesome. First versus second, offense versus defense. The thing is, OKC's offense is also rated third. So, so it's pretty fucking crazy, right? Basketball. I am so stoked for this matchup for the simple fact that you get to sort the wheat from the chaff. What do you mean, Jim? Just remember, as I said on Monday's show, if you come across anybody fucking whinging about ratings, punch him in the head. Just maybe not punch. That's a bit fucking. Just give him a light slap on the chin. Go, shut up, dickhead. Just shut the fuck up. Oh, but it's really cool when you got LeBron and Steph in there. Shut up, dickhead. Slap. Because as I said on Monday's show, like anyone who doesn't like this basketball matchup doesn't actually like basketball. They like soap operas. Right? You like reading. You like watching your stories. Go watch a fucking Disney movie. Like. This is going to be some fucking high-octane, sick-ass basketball, and I cannot wait. I also love that, like, Americans are like, oh, wow, you can drive between these two fucking teams. It's like 11 hours. What are you doing? Yeah, it's just drivable distance. Absolute fucking lunatics, aren't they? As I said on Monday as well, this is the first time we've had neither team in the finals paying the luxury tax. Both teams have sort of built around the players that they've drafted and then like made a couple of savvy trades here and there to build up their teams. None of them are like that sort of coalesce super team free agent putting together. They've just made smart move after smart move to get the depth that's needed to get you through a regular season and then all the way into June of an NBA season, which is really fascinating. And with all that said, OKC are the biggest favorites since the 2018 Warriors. Jesus! Unbelievable. So yeah, there's not a giant amount of faith in the Indiana Pacers at this point, and like so many picks you'll see being made up until we get to game one, it'll be like OKC in 5, OKC in 6, and it's just real fucking hard once you break down all the numbers and go, hang on, yeah. To like convince yourself of the Pacers. The thing is, like both of these teams have been underrated clearly going into these through the playoffs. I mean, fucking OKC won 68 games. They're amazing. But the Pacers were underrated going into every series they played. OKC, even I'm taking like Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals, that sort of shit. And you just have these moments of like, oh, OKC are just a juggernaut in fucking plain sight. As I said, first in like defensive rating in the playoffs, third in offense. That's so fucking hard to do. They're so good. Absolute chaos. Indy's second in offensive rating and ninth in defensive rating in the playoffs. Like, it's really hard to do, and they've made the fucking finals. So, let's do the 3 nerd keys to the finals that I'm keeping an eye on and that will basically likely dictate what the fuck's going on. But also the cool keys to the finals, which are the ones that I'm more likely to remember. So let's do it. Number 1, pace and turnovers are your nerd ones, right? Because OKC forces more turnovers than any other team, 18 per game. That's insane. And they average fewer on offense than any team that went past the first round as well. 11.6. They average fewer. They force more. And that margin is 6.4. That's the highest of any team that's played multiple playoff series since they started tracking this shit back in 73, 74. Holy crap. And so, look, the pace and turnovers thing is that we know that the Pacers like to run. Oh, their name's the Pacers. Do you get it? By the by, it's awesome that Rick Carlisle's in charge of this Pacers team because, like, his Dallas teams were not pacey. Just shows you how good of a coach he is. Like, he's adapting to his personnel, not having a system and adapting his personnel to it. But Indy likes to run. We saw that in the Knicks series off makes or fucking misses. They're just like, gone, pew, they ranked third in transition frequency during the playoffs, right? And they're basically better than any other team of actually, when they have those opportunities, like converting off them. They outscored the other team by 8.5 points in transition throughout the playoffs. They fucked the Knicks up in game 6 with that. It was like 46-18, right? So they just fucking run it down your throat and keep doing it, and they do it all the time. The thing is, if there's one team that could probably slow that down, it's OKC. They limit transition frequency better than anybody else in these playoffs, right? And transition points per game, they have the best in allowing that per game, which is absurd. So if they can force the Pacers to slow down and go into a half-court defense, the Thunder are pretty good at that too. They allow a league-worst 88.6 points per 100 in half-court possessions, which is incredible. The thing is, Indy's half-court offense is pretty fucking good. So I think, second in the playoffs, 105.8 points per 100 possessions. So you think about they allow 88.6 OKC in the half court. Pacers score 105.8. That's a big fucking difference. And if Indy can swing it their way in the half court and hope that their transition game still exists by limiting their turnovers, they're going to have themselves a bit of a crack, right? Right? The thing is, Pacers did that against the three teams coming into this series in throughout the playoffs that were all just a bit shit on defense. Like even the Cavs, they had so many weird different lineups. They were dealing with injuries, so there's defensive fucking holes everywhere. The same thing happened with the Bucks, and then the Knicks, they're playing Brunson and Cat. They could just attack. So pace and turnovers, you got two pacey teams. Indiana don't turn the ball over. OKC force you to turn it over. We saw what they did to Minnesota. It fucked them up completely. 21 turnovers a game as soon as you blink. So if the Pacers can limit their turnovers and actually get their half-court offense working as well as a transition, you're feeling okay. The problem is OKC's really fucking good at stopping both those things. This is why this matchup is awesome. So that's the nerd one, number one. The cool one. Who has the better and cooler uniforms? This one's very fucking clearly Indy. Those statement edition ones, the yellow, kissing fingers emoji. The OKC ones are we've got our blue ones and our white ones. And you're you're doing great. I'm really, really stoked that we took a team from my beloved Seattle with some of the sickest fucking jerseys in NBA history, and you've got white and blue. It's never been done before in American sports. What the fuck? Anyway, Indy, I love those statement edition jerseys. Let's go. Winners there. Number 2 of the 3 keys to the finals. Can Indy win the 3-point battle? They're shooting 40% in the playoffs. You probably heard that. That's awesome as a team. Insane. 40%. Nembhard and Naismith are both over 45%. It's fucking incredible. The thing is, OKC, their entire defense is kind of pushed towards, we're just going to stop your scoring in the paint. And our perimeter defenders are so fucking quick that you'll think you're open and you'll want to take threes because we let you take threes because our perimeter defenders are so fucking quick and long, they'll probably at least make you think about it, and it's still a bit of a challenge. The Pacers, however, lead all playoff teams in shooting threes from the corners at 46.9% so far these playoffs. So just saying, OKC let you shoot those shots at a fairly high rate. If the Pacers can just hit their fucking threes, they're going to be in these games. That's a huge one. Can you hit your threes? We know that this is the fucking modern NBA. Is it, Jim? Yes, of fucking course. So if they can win the 3-point battle, they're in it, the Pacers. OKC, they're happy, we shot 9 of 29. It's okay. Because they're just going to fucking beat you up inside. SGA is going to get to the line. They'll do enough, right? Now, the real key to the game. Are we going to look back and how are we going to remember this series? Are we going to remember, oh yeah, of course that team won this year. They went on that insanely hot streak throughout the entire playoffs and then fucking just won the finals by shooting a million threes. And they had awesome jerseys. That'd be the Pacers. Or are we going to look back at this moment, 2025, NBA Finals ago? That was the start of the OKC dynasty. That's the key for me. Because all of my shit, right, is mostly around remembering the way I think about time is almost in NBA champions. Like everything since 2020 has been a fucking blur. Like post-COVID shit, it's all just been I've also had, you know what, we had another kid since that time, and it's just, your old mate Jim is just a mess. The thing is, we could look back at 2025 and go, yeah, remember how that Thunder team won that finals, and they were the worst version of that Thunder team that then went on to three-peat or four-peat? Yeah, that worries me. I think it might be the latter for OKC. And then the third key is Tyrese Halliburton versus Lou Dort versus Alex Caruso versus Cason Wallace versus J-Dub. Oh, fuck it, hell. Hey, so in the last 2 years, they've played 4 times, these two teams, and it is very clear that OKC have just fucked Tyrese Halliburton up. He averages 12 points a game against them. That is the lowest against any team in the NBA in the last 2 years. He only took 10.2 field goal attempts. That's the second fewest against any team in that stretch as well. 0.5 free throw attempts. I think he took 2 free throws in the 4 games. He got he drew 1 shooting foul. They also, the Thunder, with all those fucking big, long perimeter defenders, fucked up his passing. He averaged 8.5 assists per game. That's his 4th fewest in that stretch as well. And it makes sense. They're forcing the ball out of his hand, and they're just going to ruin everybody else's shit. He scored 8 points on 10 shot attempts in 122 possessions against Dort. Fuck me. Woo-wee. So, the Thunder's defense just basically goes, we'll cut off the fucking spigot. The tap is turned off. Let's see how this offense goes out. They kind of did the same thing to Anthony Edwards, right? Or even also, when you think about it, Julius Randle, they're like, no, please dribble Julius Randle. Then we'll see what happens. Ta-da! We've got the ball again, right? So, really it comes down to, can Tyrese Halliburton go point God and best the bevy of defenders that OKC are going to throw at him? It's going to be really fucking hard, and the track record says a resounding no. But the real cool key, so that was the nerd key. It had stats and shit in it. The cool key is Halliburton a superstar? No, fuck that. I hate that. Hate that shit. The bigger question is Halliburton a mix of Steve Nash and Reggie Miller, who both never won a title? Or is he a mix of Chauncey Billups and Steph Curry? Right? He's got the floor general action of Billups, the shooting of Curry to a degree. The problem is his consistency, where they have one awesome game, a shit game, an awesome game, a shit game. And Reggie Miller, Steve Nash, that combo, it's yeah, they were awesome. Never got over the hump and won a fucking title though. So that's what it's going to be all about for our man, Tyrese Halliburton. All right, there you go. So those are the 3 keys to the finals for your mate Jim. The nerd ones and the cool ones. And now, let's do the top 5 reasons these NBA finals are probably going to fucking rule, right? You ready? Let's do it. All right, the top 5 reasons to watch the NBA finals. Well, just saying, number 1, since January 1st, including the playoffs, these are the 2 best teams in the NBA. Thunder have gone 53-13. The Pacers have gone 46-18. That's a pretty good reason. They're the 2 best teams. It's going to be awesome. And the cool thing is, it's not the same old Celtics, Warriors, or Lakers, or a LeBron team, right? So Cavs, Lakers, Miami. Did you know that Celtics, Warriors, Lakers, or a LeBron team, Cavs, Miami, Lakers, have all been in the finals every single year since 2005, except 2021, where we had the Bucks and Suns. So it's the first time we've ever had a finals with neither team playing luxury tax. It's two homegrown teams with smart drafting and smart trading who have built awesome, fun teams who play team basketball. It's awesome. These are awesome teams. And my favorite thing about that is it's like in the NFL. It doesn't matter the size of the market. It matters how good your team is. The focus is on the team and why they succeed. Pittsburgh is a tiny, tiny, tiny market. And they're one of the biggest starry sort of franchises in the NFL. How does that happen? By playing awesome, reflective of your city and your area's team sport, right? Doesn't matter if it's basketball, football. It's not just, do you have LeBron or Steph Curry? No, we have an awesome team, and that rocks. Number 2, it's the all-Aussie Ducas versus Furphy Cup. That's right. We're going to have one more addition to the honor roll of 7 Aussies who've won an NBA title, which, in my awesome opinion, is fucking radical. Seriously. Like either Alex Ducas or Johnny Furphy in their rookie fucking years will join Luke Longley, Gazy, Bangers, Paddy, Delly, Bogues, and Jack White. Is that 7? Luke Longley, Gazy, Bangers, Paddy, Bogut, Delly, Jack White. Yeah, got it. And now we're going to add another one. It's the all-Aussie battle. Of course, Alex Ducas won't hit the court, nor did Jack White, BT Dubs. But 2 Aussie rookies, NBA champions. Let's go. Number 3. Let's do it. You ready? The actual players. The actual goddamn players. Yeah. SGA versus Halliburton. The foul merchant versus the most overrated player in the NBA, apparently. One's the MVP, and the other one's the new Reggie Miller. Like, even as the choke sign. That was awesome. You sort of think about this and you go, Tyrese Halliburton's the player that people thought Trae Young was, right? But if you added some Steve Nash to it, and like Tyrese Halliburton's that dude, it's incredible. And SGA's been like having the greatest like guard season since we've seen, basically since MJ, or at least since 2009 D-Wade, right? They're awesome. But like, it's an awesome matchup that'll showcase the best of those two guys. But the problem is, you've also got rad matchups up and down this entire roster. You got J-Dub versus Siakam. That is unreal. In a case of like, who's going to be the best second banana? You got Miles Turner versus Chet Holmgren, and who's going to be the best skinny big, which is radical. You've got Naismith and Nemhard versus Dorton Hartenstein. Who else is like, are they going to hit shots? Are they going to cause havoc? Is Hartenstein going to crash the boards and cause all sorts of problems for the Pacers bigs, of which they don't have many? And if you go Twin Towers, you're like, hang on a second, we've got Chet and we've got Hartenstein. You got Dort on the perimeter. Oh boy, it's going to get hard. And then you got the benches. The Pacers, they've got Indy Daly. They've got Ain't No Stoppin', Obi Toppin'. They've got Benny Mathurin. He's never met a pass that he likes to throw. And then on the Thunder, you've got just, as I said, it's the whirling chainsaw wheel of fortune of death, where every game, 2 of those dudes are just going to go, all right, today I'll hit some threes and cause some havoc. Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Kaysen Wallace, Isaiah Joe. You had Kenrick Williams popping up against the Wolves. It's going to be unreal, right? And then, of course, Alex Caruso just out there looking like Elmer Fudd from Space Jam. It's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Number 4, styles make fights. Styles make fights. 2 of the top 3 fastest teams, as I mentioned earlier, they're just going to run and gun. You've got the best like defense in the playoffs versus the second best offense. The thing is, OKC's also got the 3rd best offense, which is just so brutal. And it's going to be absolutely chaotic. You think about OKC as a pack of velociraptors, right? They're a defensive juggernaut that allows plenty of opposition threes, but whatever. It's by design. But those velociraptors are so good that they're just like, oh, I'm going to chop your fucking arm off as you're trying to shoot that 3 anyway. So good luck hitting it. And as I said on Monday's show, we ranked all 15 of the last finals matchups. And this matchup is super fucking sexy. Like, it could just be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I can't fucking wait. Because that's kind of like where we get to with the last one. It's like, this should be just real fucking fun. The styles make fights. Yes. You're going to hear that a million fucking times over and over and over again. But this comes down to the simple idea is we might just get really fucking awesome basketball in the NBA Finals. OKC, we might be seeing the birth of a dynasty. SGA, Chet, J-Dub, a raft of young guns. It's awesome. Or we might see the most unlikely of NBA champions we've seen for a million years, with the Pacers coming in completely unheralded as a 5th seed. Here we go. Could they pull it off? Maybe. Maybe 4th seed, weren't they? Yeah. Either way, it's going to be absolutely sick. I can't wait. Bring on Game 1 on Friday. Speaking of which, we'll do a quick show tomorrow that's going to have all of our picks, all of our best picks, everything for the NBA Finals as well. But I want to hear what you guys think. Most assists, most rebounds, most threes. Who do you reckon is actually going to win Finals MVP, etc.? Shout out and I'll throw them in tomorrow's show. We'll do some quick yeah-nahs and then have a very quick Game 1 preview right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening
Australia.
to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs brought to you by you. That's right, you can shout us a beer or shout us a coffee. Just hit up the link in our bio on our socials to take you through to the thing. You can sign up for a super duper, Dead Set Legends Club as well, which you get a completely unique, exclusive show once a month as well. So sign up to that. Thanks to all the legends who've already signed up. You all rock. Appreciate your guts heaps. So go check it out. The link in the bio. Shout us a coffee. Shout us a beer. Would appreciate it. Got to keep this pirate ship afloat somehow. Right. Let's do some yeah-nahs. Oh, also, before we do the yeah-nahs, remember, we're doing a live show on Monday up at Chris Anstey's pub, Hotel Trentham. So come along, come say good day, come smash some tins. It's a public holiday here in Victoria, so why the fuck not? Let's do it. Right. Yeah-nahs. Thibs, did he deserve it, Jim? Yeah-nah. To the degree that, are you trying to win a title? Is he going to win you a title? Did you dig into your ability to win a title with him as your coach to the proper degree? Maybe, yeah. Like, I think Thibs is one of those sort of just like amazing coaches that just lifts you up, sets a tone, but also like has some rampaging flaws that are really easy to see. And it's really fascinating from even a psychological point where he's just like, I'm not going to change. And you're like, that's probably not good. So, I mean, it's probably come about after many, many discussions. And as I said earlier, right, I think they've looked at the simple idea of like, we've asked him time and time again to do these things and this, and this, and it's just gone nowhere. And it's not magically going to change next year. So if we pull the ripcord now, we'll get started now, and away we go. So, be interesting. But it is like there's still is it the same old Knicks, Jim? Yeah, nah. It does have a whiff of that as well, doesn't it? Because we're going to get to this in 1 second with Paul Arnie's yeah, nahs. It's like this very, very basic tenet, I think, of team building and culture building. You know what the Spurs did? They stuck with Pop. You know what the Heat have done? They've stuck with Spo. You know what the Warriors have done? They've stuck with Steve Kerr. And you know what they've all got in common? Rings. Right? It's this weird situation where it's like, well, you've got our culture this far. You're probably not going to get us over the top, though. So, it is a very, very obvious sort of vibe of like, yeah, Mark Jackson to Steve Kerr. Rick Carlisle to Larry Brown. Dwayne Casey to Nick Nurse. You make a change, a new voice can elevate that shit to like a fucking whole brand new level. Or it can completely sink your franchise. Fred Hoiberg from Thibs. Going from Buds to Adrian Griffin and Doc Rivers. But I kind of feel like you get this Knicksy vibe from it all of like, wow, we've got the ship pointing in the right direction. And of course they just come out and fucking torpedo the same ship. It's like, we're all trying to find the guy who did this. And it's like, it was you all along, Knicks. Knicks gonna Knicks. Leads very nicely into Paul Arnie. Good stuff, Paul. Is mediocrity the answer to a long NBA coaching career, he says. Win a title, get fired. Get your franchise to the conference finals for the first time in 25 years, get fired. How many coaches have actually won an NBA title and are still the head coach at that franchise? Yeah, nah. I mean, maybe not so much mediocrity, but just like keeping your head down and just fucking getting out of the road. Like, it is crazy that, like, you look at the longest tenured coaches left and, like, the list is super fucking... It gets to Mark Daigneault very quickly. It's going to get to, like, I don't know, Nick Nurse in Philly fucking soon enough. But either way, I mean, the only coaches with the teams that they've won titles with at the moment are, like, Steve Kerr, Spoelstra, and Joe Mazzulla, who won it last year. Because now that Pop's officially gone and retired from the Spurs, he's out. Like, it's 3. Because you think about the Lakers, Vogel, out the fucking door straight away. Bucks, they move on from Buds. The Nuggets, they move on from Michael Malone. Obviously, the Raptors moved on from Nick Nurse. It's like, it's kind of weird that you think about the mid-thousands where it's like Spoelstra winning a couple of titles with the Heat, Steve Kerr winning a bunch there with the Warriors. Even like Ty Lue, who takes over from David Blatt, he's gone not fucking long after. Like, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So maybe mediocrity is not the answer, but just keeping your head down and not winning a fucking title and having expectations of that degree. Like, Chauncey Billups has been like he's going to be super long tenured there in fucking Portland in a second. It's crazy to me. Anyway, second, do the media, players, or the fans have way too much say in who is the team coach? Yeah, nah. The media and the fans, nah. I don't think the Knicks give a fuck about the media and the fans. To a degree, right? Like all the stuff James Dolan's done over the years, they just do not fucking care. The players, though, like, I found that fucking fascinating once they sort of actually had it reported that, yeah, in the season end reviews, they had all the top players sort of come through for those sort of end of season meetings. James Dolan's there, and then Thibs is gone. So they are listening to the players. I would also, like, that's the modern NBA. It's a player-run league. David Stern would never. But I feel like sometimes you almost have to save the players from themselves. Look what happens every time a player's like, basically, you know, LeBron is the GM. How does that work out? You're fucking suddenly trading for Russell Westbrook because you're mates. You go get D-Wade on the Cavs if you're LeBron, right? Kobe kiboshing shit. It's just Jimmy Butler going from fucking team to team, just fucking shit up. Tobias Harris over me. Anyway, it's weird. You have to listen, obviously, to the players, get their input, get their feedback. You don't listen to the media. You can't listen to the fans because we're all morons, right? I feel like, though, the testicular fortitude of teams and franchises is tested probably more than ever. And those ones that just don't give a fuck, like San Antonio, like Miami. Miami's like, we don't fucking care. Spoelstra's our dude. We're being a bit shit. If the results actually keep slipping, yeah, he'll be gone. But for the minute, the culture's the culture, and away we go. So, yeah, the players probably have a little bit too much say, I'd say, and it's really hard to stick up against the players, though, on your team. It's just really fucking hard. So that's the world we live in. Unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
Pretty fun. So I did the last 15 years of NBA Finals ranked the other day, and people, I got a couple of messages going, Jim, those Cavs Warriors battles in the mid-teens were amazing. How could you have 17 and 18, so 2017 and 2018, ranked 14th and 15th? And to that, I say, you are watching those with rose-colored glasses. Because those two, that was the Durant Warriors fucking completely waxing the Cavs, right? Wax on, they went full Miyagi, wax on, wax off. Like 2018, that's as I said the other day, it's the famous J.R. Smith LeBron, what the fuck are you doing game? Had they won that game, it might have been a series. Instead, it was a sweep. And like that was the only moment of that series where you're like, Jesus. And it took like the greatest game basically ever from LeBron to even give them a sniff. And they still blew it. And 2017 was just like a Kevin Durant fucking stomping party. So, yeah. Anyway, I think a lot of that, though, was just to shine a light on how it's been 10 years since we had a 7-game final series. So that leads us nicely into, let's have a look. Shall we do this? Bit of Outback Takehouse. It's Wednesday at Outback, and you know what that means? Oh, yeah, Hump Day Special, where we've taken a couple of humps off some of those feral camels from the Outback. You just fucking lop them off, and you stuff it with mince, some spices, some chickpeas, bit of coriander in there as well. Just go fucking hammer and tongs. Bake that motherfucker up, and it is delicious. That's right. It's Hump Day Specials only at Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is the Indiana Pacers are going to win the NBA Finals 4-3 only at Outback. Maybe not. But also the Knicks have got to hire Jay Wright. What the fuck are you doing? As I said, I think the other day, right? It's either a sweep or it's a 7-game series. Pacers, OKC, who fucking knows? Look, what the Pacers need to do is have John Halliburton back courtside, just talking unrelenting shit to SGA and then maybe trying to fight Chet or something, right? I'm all about that. Anyway, let's do a very, very brief Patty Mills game day Twitter check-in before we do a very quick preview for Friday's game. Because we'll cover it a little bit more in depth on tomorrow's show when we do the picks for the finals. But Patty Mills, game day Twitter, let's do up. Eat, slay, wear blood of. Nature is metal. That's what Duop's reposting. That's fucking good. But Patty Mills, his IG story has been going off, right? So, as a proud Dwara man from the Murray Island and the Torres Strait, I carry Grandad Eddie Koki Marbo's legacy with me every day. He stood for who we are, where we come from, and the strength we carry moving forward. Bloody nice. Today marks 33 years since the High Court of Australia delivered its ruling, declared that the Merian people are entitled as against the whole world to possession, occupation, use and enjoyment of the lands in the Murray Islands, making it a significant day in our history. Bloody good, Paddy. Marbo Day yesterday, June 3. Worthy of pause and honouring. Patty Mills, legend. Is he going to buy the Taipans? Who knows? Will he play for him? I think it's fucking hilarious that they rehired 40. Like, get the fuck out. Actually come back. Amazing gear. All right, let's do a very quick Game 1 of the NBA Finals Preview. Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Not bad. I can actually straighten my arms now. Still fucking a bit painful. And I can't get rid of this fucking cold that the baby gave me. Like my throat from where I got my surgery a couple of years ago. It's still just like, I feel like there's still scar tissue and shit in there. So every time I get a cold, it just fucking aches. Old man shit. I'll tell you what. Right. So game 1 of the NBA Finals, we'll be doing, obviously, game 2. We'll pop in and out during the game with a bit of a live stream, and then we'll do a live show at the end of it at Chris Anstey's pub. That'll be from 10 a.m., of course, up there at Hotel Trentham. It's going to be amazing. Can't wait. But before that, game 1, Indy at OKC, the NBA Finals. So we've broken all the sort of things down, how it all works. There's a couple of other little ones as well. In terms of the picks, India are 18-11 as an underdog on the road. It's not bad, 18-11. Unfortunately, OKC is a home favorite. Like a little bit fucking terrifying. I believe, where are they at number one? I think it's 34-12-2. Jesus. 34-12-2 against the line at home. Jesus. But remember, underdogs in game ones of finals always sort of have a little bit of crack, especially as they're massive, massive underdogs like the Pacers are. I think back to the Allen Iverson Sixers up against the Shaq Kobe Lakers. They won that fucking game. LeBron, as I mentioned, the 2018 Cavs, massive underdogs up against the Warriors. They nearly won that game. They should have won that fucking game. George Hill, still the world's luckiest man. J.R. Smith cops all the shit for that game. George Hill goes, 1 or 2 at the line? Could have iced it. Anyway, but underdogs in game one of the NBA Finals, just saying, keep an eye on that one. We're going to talk about this in all the picks in tomorrow's show. But for the minute, my pick is actually, I'll talk about this at length on tomorrow, but I'm no longer underestimating OKC. Kind of have, took Minnesota, I think, every game last series. They covered twice. Going to go Indy plus 9.5, I think, in game one. And we'll also go the over, 230.5. So, Indy, we know that when they play the way that they want to play, they look fucking awesome. OKC absolutely specialize in taking you out of the way you want to play. But the way the Pacers at least have backup plans, I think they can keep this close. Even if they lose it, if I'm going to take the 9.5, I feel okay-ish. The thing is, the Thunder just have an absolute waxing in them. As I said, wax on, wax off. They do have a waxing in them at all times. So they could win the first game by 40. But it's actually probably not a bad hedge. Indy plus 9.5, OKC minus 19.5. So, but either way, we'll probably go the over because both these teams can score. We know they'll be going back and forth. It's a very pacey game. That means more possessions, probably more points. I think Indy can hang with them. I think the 3-point shooting's on point. We'll talk about this in the picks and everything about who's going to score and how they're going to do it on tomorrow's show. But for the minute, my pick is Indy plus 9.5 for game one. And we'll have all the series picks and all that sort of stuff in tomorrow's show. So, but that'll, I think, do it. So remember, you can follow all the vibes, all of our picks over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya. You can sign up using the link in our bio or the link in our show description in your podcast app, etc. on YouTube. Sign up, use the code NBA Straya. Tell them you made Jim sent you. And that's it. That'd be much appreciated. Otherwise, we are bloody well done for today for a good hump day show. Either way, we'll be all over the socials the next couple of days as well. A couple of little extra videos in there too. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube, all that good stuff. And get around NFL Straya with myself and Gaz. We're going to do a big off-season rap show very, very soon. Rate, review the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, whatever Android app you use. It would be very much appreciated. Jump on there, leave a comment, leave a review. Very, very, very much appreciated. Come on, just a one-man show over here. Would help out hoops. You can also go shout us a beer, shout us a coffee. The link is in our bio. And as I said, you can go follow us over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya. Sign up using the link in our bio or in our show description. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule, so do House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinator, Gold Mines, Ramshackle Alarmy, iOS, Extra Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all on Bandcamp, Apple Music, Spotify, however you listen to your tunes. Do so. NBA Australia Sports Australian Band, so should you. All right, I'm going to get out of here. So we will catch you tomorrow for our just flat out NBA Finals best picks show tomorrow. Should be a quick one, but it'll be a good one. This is NBA Australia saying, look after yourselves, would you? And the NBA Finals are almost here. You'll be outie. Later, hoes. G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Australia. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in yeah, nahs. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Australia, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Australia, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?